It is targeting already thin women, already lean women, and selling it as peptides that'll help you lose those last 10 pounds, help you lose those last 5 pounds. You are listening to the Undieted podcast, real talk about food, body image, and breaking free from diet culture so that you can live a life on your terms. A quick heads up before we begin, this episode may include discussions around emotional eating, body image, and mental health. If these topics feel sensitive to you right now, please take care and skip or pause as needed. All right, let's dive in. Welcome back to the Undieted podcast with your host, Melissa
and Rebecca.
This episode is going to be good if you feel like social media makes you feel bad about yourself, or you're confused while you're scrolling, you're hearing all kinds of opinions. This episode is definitely for you. We are going to be diving into exposing the influencer illusion and how they are preying on your insecurity, which is weight loss, and how you look to profit off of it in large amounts through products, through programs. They're uncertified individuals, but they're creating programs and they are profiting off that through popularity and growing a following.
And unfortunately, they're everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. You know, we even see it on billboards or ads before, like, let's say, like a YouTube video or something. There's always some person that has the most secret recipe or secret, technique to losing weight, which is in turn trying to take your money, of course. So
That's right.
yeah.
And I feel with AI growing the way it has, I was sitting on a meeting and one of the women there were saying that, they punch into ChatGPT how to lose weight, and it's not going to work because ChatGPT doesn't know your health, doesn't know your everyday. You could explain it to it, but still it's a tool, and you need to be working with a professional certified individual.
Yeah. And you know what? To also, open up this episode as well, is that we're bringing you this topic because we want you to question the information that you see on the internet, especially on social media, from these people that say they may be a health guru or a life coach or something, and they don't have any evidence to present beside that, right?
None of that. A lot of people feel qualified because they lost weight, and that is great that you found out what worked for you. You can't project that and create content and make it something that's going to work for everybody, and you're not qualified. You don't understand the psychological background. It is not just a meal plan. When I lost 50 pounds 2 times, and I did not start coaching people, I did not create a social media page to help people lose weight after I lost weight. When people were always asking me how I did it, I started to think, how am I going to teach others? And I went and I sought my educational background. Going through it personally helps me immensely because I've been in my clients' shoes. The point that I'm trying to make is that they pose themselves as experts to sell you a product. Oh, there was a company, Beachbody. They dismantled their
Oh my gosh,
MLM or whatever. But what I was trying to say is that when I got certified, I was a certified health coach. That was my first certification. When I started in 2020 online, they called their recruiters coaches. So now we had people selling their exercise programs, calling themselves coaches, which saturated the internet and made me look less professional, or like people didn't understand what a professional coach was because this word coach was so loosely used.
Yes, and another thing that this kind of also comes into my field even is that a lot of life coaches claim they can do therapy, which no, they can't, and also it's kind of illegal to say that, but okay, but I think that's where it's also dangerous from that mental health, field as well, to go to a coach for therapy or for advice. And, I think that's where it's like people are stealing titles and they're just saying like, oh, I must be this because I'm doing X, Y, and Z. But they forget that you need to get licensing, you need to do the courses, you need to do the training to call yourself that title.
A real professional gets educated. Think about a doctor, how many years they go to school. And I don't know how to make that clear, that the importance of working with a certified person.
Of
We have to
course.
stay in our lane. And ever since the pandemic, everybody wants to be an online content creator. They want to get paid this, that, and the other. And it's really harming a lot of people, a lot of women. There was a huge influencer on TikTok that was selling a $200 macro course. She
Man,
sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and it came out that she was on GLP-1. And her
which
following
yeah,
went, she still has some soldiers that stay by her, but people were upset because you're lying to the public. You are selling a program. This is how you lost weight, but you are on the weight loss medication, which brings me to the point that the weight loss medication is turning into an MLM right in front of our faces. It
it
is
really is.
targeting already thin women, already lean women, and selling it as peptides that'll help you lose those last 10 pounds, help you lose those last 5 pounds.
It's
Well, guess
awful.
what? You're going to have to stop it at some point. And what are you going to do? This is what the public refuses to take on. You can't do anything until you lose the weight, and you don't need a weight loss medication to lose 10 pounds. This is a life-saving drug that has an avatar. It has a patient profile. That's who it's for.
Yes. Yeah, agreed. And that, it's like the weight loss medications are all a quick fix. They're not actually going to result in a lifetime of changes, right?
And every woman, I have clients on them. Every woman, they lose weight when they first get on it. They're happy. They have this euphoric feeling that, oh, I'm losing the weight. And then they plateau. And then they go to the doctor and they say, I need a higher dose, a higher dose, a higher dose. How do you come off of that after? You're not going to be able to sustain the weight loss without the medication. So isn't it better to heal the food noise,
Yeah.
heal your relationship with food? I get it that this is harder. It's
Yeah.
harder to do. Believe me, I did it. Obsessive eating, distorted eating, maybe a mild eating disorder. I know that this is the hard, tough work,
Yeah.
but if you don't fix that, you're not going to sustain your weight loss. And in my time, I did it. I did Dr. Bernstein. No,
Oh,
those were, they used to put a shot in your buttocks and they gave you a way of eating. And with the GLP-1, they're doing the same thing, high protein, low carb. And it's not real life, right? And
no, it's not.
that going back to the influencers who misguide you, so the one selling the macro course, but that's not what she's using. It's the same thing with these what I eat in a day videos. I get questions in my DM, please show us what you eat in a day.
Oh,
Here's the thing,
man.
every day of eating for me is different. I have days where maybe I only eat one main meal and a few snacks. There are days I eat 3 meals, no snacks. Some I have 2 meals. I really follow my hunger and my energy needs for that day. I
Yes,
find when
of
I
course.
lift weights, I'm hungrier. On a day that it's a rest day, I'm not as hungry. So how do you pick which day to share? And if I share the volume of food I'm eating on a lower body workout day, how does that benefit you?
And so that is where like those what do I eat in a day videos are very triggering for people that have an existing eating disorder because they go, wait, this person is only having a yogurt for breakfast. Why do I feel that I want to eat more than that? And then unfortunately, like in therapy, you kind of have to also question those videos and say, okay, this person's only showing you a yogurt. Is that truly what they're eating? Right? Are they just doing it for,
It's just
you know,
content.
content? Yeah,
It's unfortunate, but it's just content. And a lot of times they'll show you meals, they don't eat the whole thing, or they're not
exactly.
even eating it, like Rebecca was saying. There have been influencers. There's this amazing creator, I'm going to find her name. She makes videos on YouTube and she exposes them. And she did one video, it was like a day in the life or something. And she was going around to like a coffee shop or restaurant, and then she would like take a picture of the receipt and show it. Well, this person investigated and, paused and zoomed in and saw that
Yeah.
it wasn't even on the same days.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So there's content and then there's real life.
Yes,
We
that's fact.
really have to understand the illusion of social media and that you are seeing a small snippet. I often hear from clients that, because I work a lot with bringing down the nervous system,
Yeah,
because that influences your food choices, influences your craving. So I work on
yeah,
de-stressing and managing your emotions, and that really helps. They are always comparing themselves. They're comparing themselves to married people that look happy online. They're comparing
yeah,
themselves to women that are traveling all over and they don't have a job. Have you ever thought, I mean, I'm not going to say it, but have you ever thought what these women might be doing? You don't know the
yeah,
person's life at all and why they're
exactly,
in Greece one week and then in Paris the next. You don't know what's going on in their life. So you cannot compare yourself to somebody you see online.
exactly. And for a lot of my clients, some of them get so tired of seeing like these posts online and the comparison in their head that they just do a full detox, right? They just go, okay, you know what? I'm gonna quit social media for this amount of time and see how I feel. And they end up feeling really great, right?
And that's why it's important also to set boundaries and be in control of your own social media
Yes.
and curate your feed. When you sit down, a lot of us sit down, we want to scroll. I know as a mom, you went through a crazy day with the kids. You just want to sit for 30 minutes and you want mindless, you want to scroll. You can curate your feed, okay?
Yes.
By when videos come up that are triggering to you, you hold it, you press not interested. If those videos keep coming up, they shouldn't. You can block people. Blocking doesn't mean you hate them. If their content is not helpful for you, you shouldn't follow it. I tell my clients all the time, and it's also something I share in my stories and in content I create. Don't follow a bunch of weight loss advice.
Yes.
The women that follow me, I start to notice them on other pages. They're following all kinds of people that are talking about weight loss. You can't do that.
Yes. Yes, of course. Cause like, you know, I think that's where it's like the categories and like these social media pages get really generalized and they start putting people who know what they're talking about versus people that do not have a clue and are trying to get your money and are just like, here, let me take you around Costco and show you all the stuff you shouldn't eat. Right? Like, Craig, the amount of times you've had that targeted on my homepage is friggin' terrible. I hate it.
You don't have to follow. And Facebook, for example, they start bringing all kinds of people your way, people from your high school, this, that, and the other. You don't have to connect with these people. You don't have to accept
Yeah.
them as friends. You don't have to do any of that. That's your social media. You curate it the way you want.
I want people to know that there is a form of control here. Like, you have the ability to remove and block unwanted content that is triggering for you, right? And unfortunately, like, it's sad because, like, it's a common thing for people that are trying to recover from disordered eating. Like, they're trying to avoid these triggers, but they're everywhere, right? And they disguise themselves as like pro Anna like stuff as a fitness like instructor, but when you look at it, you go, oh my God, this is like pro Anna material that should never be consumed, right?
Uh-huh.
It's very sad. Like when you kind of talk to people about it, they go like, I can't escape it. Like it's everywhere. And you have to like coach them to try and like delete, block, limit social media access
Yep.
and also question what you're viewing, right? That's the biggest thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
It's nice to look for, especially people that don't like cooking. You can look at recipes, people that post recipes, people
Yeah.
that, post certain tips and stuff like that. But anything that triggers you, don't unfollow. I have on TikTok, it took me a while, but I have a really good algorithm now. I get on there, I laugh, sometimes I get
Oh,
interested.
that's good.
And social media can be an emotional roller coaster. You see a video that makes you laugh, then you get a video that makes you sad. And
Yes.
I had someone say to me, there was something going on in the news. And didn't you see that? It's all over social media. Well, no, my algorithm doesn't bring me that stuff,
Which is a relief.
I don't want to know. I don't want to see it. And this is where all the influencers and everybody wants to be an influencer now. Everybody wants to give you advice. And people are eating it up. Women are eating it up because when you want to lose weight, I get it. You want to lose it right away.
But you know what? It's also that you have to be cautious what you're consuming, like not, pun wise, but you have to like almost like question, is this the person that I truly want to listen to for advice, right?
Mhm. You have professional athletes that are in the gym 3 hours a day.
Mhm.
Um, and they're super fit. And you have to understand that every body appearance has a lifestyle that goes
Yes.
with it. And if you're not willing to live that lifestyle, you have to accept that as well, right?
Yes.
And there are a lot of these influencers who have procedures and they don't tell you about it, right?
Now, yeah, Melissa, I don't know if you remember this movie, Legally Blonde.
Yes.
Do you remember this scene with the main character? She meets her like her all-time
Yeah.
celebrity in the fitness world who shared her alibi to the crime, where she was getting liposuction the day of the crime.
Oh.
And the main character was like in this crisis because she's like, I did your workouts, I followed your routines, and now you're telling me you got liposuction. And so she had to like hate to spill the beans, right? But that scene always replays in my head because it's like people who build these empires based on their appearances, they get so many procedures done that they will never tell the public. It will be like a dying secret of theirs.
Yep, there are women that sell skincare products for wrinkles, but they go for Botox, they
Yeah.
go for facial
Yeah.
injections, and
Yep.
nothing wrong with that. But you have to
Yeah.
disclose it to your following. I don't plan to, if I ever went for any kind of procedure, my following would know immediately.
That's
So
wild.
for breast augmentation is easy to spot. What do you call it when you lift the butt? BBL.
Yeah.
BBLs are hard to spot too because you don't know. Some women have a lot of,
Yeah.
and they're selling you their workouts that didn't give them the results that they're selling. So it's just money. Social media is a hard place. I ran my coaching business for 5 years before I even went online, and it was all referral based.
Yeah.
Nobody, I had a
Word of mouth.
website with some testimonials and that was about it, but it was very much referral based. And now online, I find it hard because I try to stand out outside of the noise.
Yes. Yeah. No, I get it. And then it's the thing too that people need to keep in mind is that, the same people that are pushing all this false information, like they buy their followers, they try to use the right keywords. They find the secrets of trying to get on the algorithm or the front page. They pay
Uh-huh.
for advertising so you see them in front of you, you know.
Well, this is something I was telling my business coach, saying, I don't understand why some people grow these big social media accounts. They have all this engagement and this, that, and the other. And she said, you don't know what they do behind the scenes. Some of them they pay to be part of an engagement group. And every time somebody posts, they alert this group and then they all go onto the person's page and comment and this, that,
Yeah.
and it pushes them out further and further and further.
Yeah.
So you really can't compare yourself to other people.
Oh, it's not possible.
And it happens in every industry, every area. It's like fake, 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 fake.
Yeah. And I think that's where it's like we want you guys to hear this today because we want you guys to also, question what is it that makes someone, authentic? What makes someone honest? Like are they following morals of the stuff they're posting? Are they guilt tripping you? I go back to my example of why my algorithm decided to show me this like biologist. They were actually a chiropractor. I'm like, what the hell? Anyways, guilting me about buying like cookies from Costco. And I'm going like, what the hell, man? Like, leave me alone.
There's
Yeah.
viral, like something I posted him in my stories to my followers saying, please, if you're following this guy, unfollow and block him because he's insane. Like, what are you supposed to eat? Every time you go through the internet, it's like, this is not good. This is killing you. That's killing you.
Yeah.
Look, we know what's unhealthy and what's not.
Yeah, and it's like saying like this is a carcinogen or this is a da da da.
Yeah,
You're going,
carcinogen. Yeah. And
yeah.
meanwhile, some of these Beth, who I showed you her account,
Shout out to Beth. Please come on our show.
she called out a influencer who was shaming, I don't remember what, oh, telling you that you shouldn't be eating dairy.
Ah,
And the camera just happened to go in a way where her cart was exposed. Oh,
yes,
that
that's right.
dairy causes cancer.
And it was a cart full of wine. I
Wow.
remember this. I
And
remember this.
alcohol is listed as a carcinogen. It increases the chance of 9 different cancers. So these
It
people are
also,
fake and phony.
and then let's not get started with how alcohol also contributes to the mental health field, but I digress.
Anxiety,
Uh,
depression, being
yeah,
feeling
anger,
paranoid, ultra paranoid, anger.
high risk taking, impulsivity, you name it.
Yeah.
You know, first of
So
all, no one
there's
should. I know it's crazy. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was gonna say I would I would kill to have dairy. I would love to have dairy, man. And for everyone listening, I want to have dairy, but I physically cannot. I am lactose intolerant. Anyways, but if someone told me not to eat dairy, I'd be like, who are you to tell me, what
There
to
are
do with my
so
life?
many weight loss influencers out there that say, don't eat dairy, don't eat carrots, don't eat zucchini. And I
And
know because I've had them come to me, and a lot of women come from other plans
yes,
because they're going around and they're trying them and nothing is working. And one of my newest clients, she was in 3 different group type of coaching things. And that the issue with giving everyone the same plan is it's not going to work for everyone.
of
And
course.
when I had my consultation with her, she applied for coaching and then we book a call to discuss her answers. And I said, I'm very high touch, personal, one on one. And the client gets to choose once a week for an hour, every 2 weeks for an hour. But in between, it's like I plan it just for it's her plan
Yes.
because I ask questions. What do you do for a living? How old
Yeah.
are your kids? Those things
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
How many hours of sleep do you get a night?
Well, yeah, that's the biggest indicator too, as
How
well.
long does it take you to drive home from work? Like
Yeah.
these things that you don't consider, a lot of women say, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't, because you haven't made time and you don't understand how to fit it into your life. You
Yes.
spend a lot of time doing things that are not necessary. And there are tools like habit stacking and all of that. There is absolutely time, but those small details matter in someone's life. And that's
They
why
do.
I can't, like, I don't even know right now if I have 2 clients that work out the same amount of days a week.
No, that makes sense to me because everybody's life is so different, right? It looks so different in
I
all
have I have a
businesses.
client who still, after 10 months, she's going to the gym once a week. Nothing wrong with that.
Honestly, that's impressive to me. Once a
So
week is
she
a
she
success.
weight trains once a week.
Awesome.
She's active the other days, walking
That's
during her
awesome.
lunch break, all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff like that. And here's another thing to consider too, what the person does for a living. So a nurse,
Yes.
I wouldn't give her the same fitness routine as someone who works for the government or as a receptionist that
Yes.
sits for a lot of it, because nurses are all over the place.
Very true.
So
They're
their
on their
energy
feet a lot.
expenditure is different. And that's why these programs that there's one woman also on TikTok that goes live every day and she just guides you to her website. You plug in your biometrics, tells you how many calories you should be eating a day, and then you go find her meal plan. So say it populates 1,700 calories a day. You
Okay.
go and you buy her 1,700 calories a day meal plan. So she's just selling her meal plans.
Yeah.
She didn't get her transformation that way. She worked with a coach one on one. I know because I've been following her. I don't follow her anymore, but at the time I had followed her since she had 2,000 followers.
Mhm.
So she went through her weight loss transformation with a in-person coach.
Yeah. And it's all these things that, if people were to go back in time with that same account, they'd be like, oh, it wasn't the meal plan that helped. You just you had money to pay a coach to help
That's
you,
right.
right? And I think that's where it's like the thing I encourage people as a therapist is to investigate the person that you are trying to listen to for health advice. I highly encourage it.
Yep. And now on Instagram, I added my certifications to one of my highlight bubbles. That way people can see, okay, she can do this, this, and that. And if they ever ask me, and that's the thing too, no one's ever asked me. I don't think anybody asks anybody. And a lot of different programs will say people don't care if you're certified. They just want to know that you can help them. It depends what you're helping with.
Yes, yeah.
When it comes to weight loss, you have to be trained.
No, of course. And I think with any health information, you have to be trained in that field.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be specialized in some way, right?
Yeah. And this misinformation and, showing what I eat in a day videos when it's not really what you ate, it leads to the viewers always feeling like they're not good enough. They don't have enough discipline. I don't have enough willpower. I could lose weight, but it's me. I'm the problem. It's me, 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 me.
Which is
So,
unfortunate. It's sad because, like, think of it this way. If you're following an influencer that's going to bully you into doing something, why are you watching them? Why are you
mhm.
exposing yourself to more harm?
Even Beth, okay, someone asked her for her plan. And she said, I'm not sharing my plan. And the person got upset. Well, then you don't know what your plan is. Well, no, because her plan is not for you. She's been training for, I
Yeah.
think, like 7 years at this point.
Yeah.
You're not going to eat your chapter one where you're starting off. You're not going to eat like someone who's been training for 7 years. I
No,
made
of
a
course.
meme. I posted a meme and I got a lot of interesting comments where it was like, it's a cat and I put a gym as a background and it's like a look of shock the cat has when they say, oh, I'm going to get abs by summer. This was like when it was 3 weeks before summer. But then I meet the fit woman at the gym who told me it took her 5 years.
Because 5 years is more realistic than 3 weeks.
You know why? Because when you have to change, you go through different phases. And just like
Yes.
my client who's going to the gym once a week, that's what she's trying to make a new normal. If she started in the gym 5 days a week, and that's not something she can maintain, she may never go more than once a week, but that's doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
people don't understand that every single person's lifestyle is different and it
Exactly.
doesn't matter what someone else is doing. It's the
Yes.
same again. It's this TikTok again. This other woman who's a stay-at-home mom. She blew
Oh
up
my goodness.
recently because of she was making how she loses weight, a lot of what I eat in a day videos. And her one line that she said that went viral was, if you eat big, you'll be big. If you eat small, you'll be small.
Oh no.
And here's the thing, she's a stay-at-home mom, right?
Yeah.
She has I'm telling you, a loyal following. They love her, and that's fine. She's super sweet. That's not my point. My point is that there's a lot of working women, a lot of women sometimes working two jobs, and you're
Yeah.
following her and you're seeing her make her own schedule type of day,
Yeah.
and it's not fair.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
not
have
fair at
the
all.
same lifestyle as her. You can't do it.
Yeah. No, exactly. And it's like, that everybody has a different way of food prepping. Everybody has a different way of, like, preparing their meals in a day. And frankly, if you're working two jobs in this economy, probably, you're not going to have any time to meal prep. You're probably going to reach for fast food. But you know what? Food is food. Food is nourishment. I wouldn't judge someone for going for fast food if they're working two jobs, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, it's very common. And, I think that's where it's like these accounts don't get reality, right? If it's the working class, they're going to have less time to be at home and they're going to have less time to go grocery shopping and
And that's
less
the
time.
frustrating part with them. They watch
Yeah.
them and then they feel crappy about their own life. And again,
Yeah.
I remind you that it's content. It's
Yeah.
just content. It's like pretend you're watching your favorite show. But, we all want to belong. We want to be influenced by someone. We want someone to tell us what to do and or show us how. But you're not going to learn that way.
Yes, no, for sure. If I could encourage the audience to do something, I would say if you're gonna watch these videos, watch the reaction videos to those videos.
I
The
love
people,
those.
I love those too. Again, shout out to Beth. The people who will call out those behaviors and give you a good laugh because I think that's where it's like there has to be a sense of reality in all this. right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to start doing that. I practiced by doing that with some recipes where I was just sharing recipes that I'm going to use. But when I come across, again, I've curated my algorithm so I don't get that much negative stuff. But when I do, I'm going to start calling them out because it's she did one too again. We talk about Beth because she's hilarious and she's so straightforward, she swears a lot, but if you look past that, her message is still it's important. She called out this video where it was like she's menopausal and she's got all these symptoms and she added this thing to her water and now it's
Oh my
all
god.
gone, you
No.
know? And then another one was that the GLP-1, which now they're naming it peptides.
Oh
I'm
god.
microdosing peptides. That's huge right now. And
Awful.
it's a recipe for disaster. It's not going to last. You're going to regain the weight. I said this, I shouted this 75 hard was bad, bad, bad. And people would tell me, oh, I just wanted to teach me discipline. And that's not how you learn discipline because you're playing
No.
with your metabolism. If you're forced to work out twice a day for 45 minutes, you can't maintain that. That's why
Yes.
I don't like challenges that much because
Yes, the
you
challenges.
yeah, like I'll do challenges where I have one called the sneaky sugar. So we go through and I educate about what foods have sugar and, kind of bringing down the levels of sugar that we eat. But for me to do a exercise, walking, I tend not, I don't really do those.
I know, like, because some of the challenges are not realistic either, right?
Anyway, this comes to close to the end of our episode. We don't want you to feel, insecure or anything like that. We just encourage you to follow a certified people on social media that have the background. And you can even curate it so you don't even see any of this stuff. You don't have to seek this advice on social media. You could just use social media to make you laugh and or some people like watching these true crime.
Help me in there, man. I love true crime stuff. I'd rather take that over someone judging me for buying something from Costco. That's wild.
So use social media, and if you don't know how, reach out to us on social media, and we'll chat in the DMs.
Yeah. Happy to help people release this claim on your social media page. If I can help in any way, I'm more happy to. And I would think one final thing I'll say is like listen to your gut. If your gut is telling you that the thing you're watching is really uncomfortable, like log off or close the app or swipe up if you're on
Hmm.
TikTok,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So thanks everybody for listening today. This was a fun episode.
Yeah. I will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.